Hi, if you are interested in participating in a unique discourse on the vexed issue of feedback, you're in the right place. So we promise to be out of here within 35 minutes. So I'm suggesting that you set aside distractions and be engaged. We are streaming live on LinkedIn, Facebook, and YouTube. Some of the platforms do not allow for voice exchange or for even texting. But if you can, we would welcome your questions and your input. If not, please send us your questions and your comments to info@successwithpeople.org and we will respond. And for example, if you are watching the replay of the session, please send us your comments, ask us your questions, send to info@successwithpeople.org, and we will be happy to respond. So, welcome to the Success with People livecast. I am Trevor E.S. Smith, and I am the one tasked with guiding you through this interesting, intriguing, unique discourse around feedback. Yes. So feedback is a high risk adventure. You know? I don't know how many of you have had that situation where you see a situation and you are clear that there is need to provide this well-intentioned, this valid and should be valued input, insight, feedback, advice, whatever we want to call it. And we are roundly rebuffed. I've been there. Yeah. So feedback is not easy. And so some of the questions that arise is, should I really say this to this individual? And the context, the primary context in which we're speaking here is in a work environment. But this happens in your home and with your friends, you know. How will it be received? Yeah. So it goes beyond just the work environment. Am I rushing to judgment? Do I have all the facts? Sometimes the pushback you get is that this is not a teaching moment. I hear you, but what I want now is empathy. I don't want to be taught now. Yeah, I'm going through, you know, a bad period here. You correct me now, correct me afterwards, but right now, embrace. Right? So, is this a teaching moment? Is a question we can ask. And then there's the cop out when we're afraid. Am I the best person to give the feedback? Should this feedback be given by somebody else? And how will it impact the relationship? So, friends, why am I using one of our live casts to deal with feedback? Because feedback doesn't get the attention it deserves. And yet, the capacity, that unique skill to be able to give feedback effectively such that it lands well, that is critical to our personal growth. Yes. So constructive feedback is a great important skill. And that's one of the things that good leadership is built on, the capacity to be able to give feedback in a way that drives performance, that fosters learning, and improves team dynamics. Yeah. So far from causing confusion, well delivered feedback can actually enhance the dynamics within the team. Yeah. So I give you some questions that we might be asking ourselves when we are tasked or find ourselves in a position to give feedback. But there are some added complexities. I'm going to give you two studies that if it wasn't hard enough already, these add some dimension. So Kruger, and then Denisi did the study, and they have a theory that they call the feedback intervention theory. And what you're saying is that, because that's what feedback is about, it's about changing behavior. So when we look at drivers of organizational behavior, um, it, you know, you really want to look at where we are now and where we ought to be, and how does that align with our goals. So that's basically the idea. What is it that we're doing? What is it that we ought to be doing? And how are those things aligned with the goals? So effectively, what you're saying is that when you're giving feedback, you need to look at the individual. Then where are we in terms of the individual? Is this a individual error, if you want to call it that, or excellent performance of the individual? What's the task? What is it that the individual is supposed to do? And what are the situations surrounding the task? So we have to ask ourselves questions like, are there enablers? Does the individual have the right tools? Does this task make any sense anyway? So those are questions. So it's not just coming and giving the feedback. We have to look at what it is that has come into the mix to cause the situation to be as it is. So we have to look at the person. We have to look at the task. What are the goals? What are the objectives? And then the circumstances surrounding the performance in relation to getting those objectives. So that adds a dimension. Yeah. So when we are about to come down on someone, should we pause to reflect as to, have we given this person the tools? Have we created the environment for success? I'm impressed with Radcliffe, who has just bought Manu. One of the things he has said is that over the last 11 years, Manchester United has had some very good coaches, who have functioned outside. But when they came to Manu, they haven't succeeded. And the question then is, has Manu prepared the kind of environment for them to succeed? That's a valid question. Yeah. So it's not that this is a poor coach. It might be that the environment is not supportive of success for the coaches. And so that's one of the things that we have to look at. Do not be quick to point to personal error, human error. Let us look at whether the systems are in place, whether the tools are in place, whether the job is properly defined. All of those circumstances make a difference to our feedback. So that's another layer of complexity on this matter. But it gets worse. It gets worse even more. This is actually a PhD dissertation, which is absolutely amazing. Nate did some research, and it's a very intriguing paper. What he found is, he's saying here, he's predicting that providing more frequent performance feedback to employees could have two different and opposing effects. So the first one is that if we provide frequent feedback, regular, often, it could actually lead to a situation where the employee, the person who is receiving the feedback, opts out of trying to be more efficient, looks for ways to increase his efficiency or her efficiency. Yeah, talk about that now. The other side, of course, is that the person works harder. You get more effort. That's one of the things. More frequent feedback actually has, the effect of increasing effort. But the question we need to ask ourselves then is, should we focus on effort or efficiency? Where this is going, and it's an intriguing discourse, is that if the individual has to find a way through, how do we actually achieve the goals, then they might be starting to think out of the box. Maybe a little technology could help here. Maybe I could enhance this process by doing this. However, if on the other hand, if you can just think about insert micromanagement, I'm not necessarily saying that he was talking about micromanagement, but if you had somebody who is a micromanager who is on you all the time, basically you're just going to respond to um, their input. You're not going to have time to sit down to creatively think as to ways to enhance the situation. So that's another layer then is the feedback encouraging uh, people to be more creative, to be seeking efficiencies, or are you just goading them to putting more of the same label? So you could understand that if the feedback is not properly directed, or if the content and the goal of the feedback is not one that enhances creativity and innovation, then that organization could stagnate. Very interesting stuff. Okay, so we're going to look at three scenarios where feedback is given and see if we can learn from them. And then after that, we want to look at how to give feedback to different behavioral styles. Right. So here is a manager. This manager needs training, by the way. So this manager says, man, your presentation was sloppy and lacked clarity. You need to improve your communication skills. Ugh, not so good. So having received that, I don't feel motivated. I might even be defensive, and I don't know how to move forward. So what kind of coaching would we give to this manager? We would let him know that constructive feedback should focus on specific behaviors and it should offer suggestions. Step by step, here's the way forward. This is how you correct the situation that we have identified. This is the pathway to improvement. So instead of this vague criticism, work was sloppy, what does that mean? The manager could highlight areas for development with specific examples and provide some resources that would help the individual to perform better. So that, of course, would then encourage growth and development of the individual. So let us see if we can help this person. So this is a revision. During the presentation, your content was thorough. I also noticed a few areas where improving clarity could make it even stronger. For example, here we go, concrete, simplifying complex concepts and using more visual might help. He's also saying, oh, this is the sloppiness, I suppose. There were also typos that could be avoided through multiple reviews. In other words, if you just go back over and run the slides over and over, you're going to pick up some of these mistakes. And let us discuss some strategies to enhance your communication skills together. We'll see why the together and why the enhancement is important, right? So with this kind of feedback, the employee might feel more empowered to work on improvement. All right, let us look at the second one, which is the famous sandwich approach. Maybe people are moving away from sandwiches because this approach, highly prized as it is, it's not always landing well anymore. Yeah, people are saying, you know, something, throw away the bread, come to me with the meat. Let's see this. Anyway, here we go. You did a great job on the project, but there were a few areas where you could improve. Yeah. So, sandwich, first slice of the bread. You did a great job on the project, a little meat, but there were a few areas where you could improve. And then other part of the sandwich, overall, good effect. Yeah, so the employee might not feel bad. Nowadays, of course, that wouldn't go down so well. People are saying, hey, what are you saying to me? But employee feels encouraged, but the positive feedback may actually They don't know what am I to do. So I get some praise here, but I'm not sure where that is. So that's a problem that we might have with the sandwich approach, is that you might be sending mixed messages and the person doesn't know exactly what to do. So you need to be balanced, and then you need also again to come through with specificity. So let us look at an approach, a revised approach. You did a fantastic job on the project, and I really appreciated your attention to detail. Specific. At the same time, the incorporation of concrete data would have enhanced the final report. Let's discuss some strategies for improvement together. So this gives you that. So fantastic job. Give you some reason why I think it is fantastic, so that you know that it's not fake. But at the same time, now here's the meat, and we can work on the meat. Okay, let's look at the third one. All right. Again, I would welcome your comments. As I say, some of the platforms that we are on does not allow for direct either voice or chat. But some do, and so we would welcome that. And we're still saying to you that you can send me some questions, some comments, some insights to info@successwithpeople.org. Whenever you're watching this, I'm prepared to respond. So here is now the gold standard, yes, which is the growth-oriented dialogue. So we have a discourse. So manager says, solid presentation. Your content was well researched. I also saw some opportunities to enhance clarity in your delivery. For example, some people might have struggled to decipher your abbreviations. Happy to share further. Let me know how I can assist. So the employee feels valued and supported and keen to collaborate, basically to improve. The key here is that there's an emphasis on collaboration. It's not you need to go and improve your communication skills. It is, I'm happy to share further. Let me know how I can assist, so the person is involved. And there's also this whole idea then of the continuous improvement. Right? So that's a better approach. So a study conducted by Harvard, Harvard Business Review actually shared this study, found that employees who received regular constructive feedback from their managers demonstrated higher levels of engagement and performance. And we know that employee engagement is a major problem. So solid feedback that's goal-oriented, that doesn't stifle the need for the employee to seek creative ways to be more efficient, helps. Yeah. And so when we have this kind of culture where there's open communication, there's transparency, it makes a difference. That's where we want to go with that. Now, we want to shift gears completely to look at how to give feedback to different behavioral styles, which is another challenge together. So, these styles, remember, we're looking at the DISC framework: dominance, steadiness, dominance, influence, steadiness, conscientiousness. That's the DISC, the ISC. We're looking at the D style, which is the dominance, which is decisive, driven, daring, ready to make decisions, independent, etc. So what is it? How do we give feedback to this person who wants to make it happen now and is impatient, etc.? This is the first person who's going to throw away the bread. So I hear you, but let's get to the meat. Right? So be direct and to the point. Focus on results and actions. Trevor, you're falling below. We not have the niceties of the matter. At least I don't mind that. Just tell me straight and give me the consequences if I don't the socks, basically. So you can be direct to the point, push it on the road, right? Focus on results and actions. This is what I expect. Um, Let me know if you need anything, but you know, we want this done in this way by this time, etc. Right? So give me clear examples as to um, what it is, where I'm falling short, what is the error that you see, right? And having done that, don't, don't go back over and go back over and go back over. You know, just stick to the fact and um, how it makes you feel and how, you know, they might be feeling, you know, into that. Just call a spade, say what it is, get out of the way, right? And by the way, go with thick skin. Go with thick skin because you might get you know, you might get some pushback and be prepared for that. Yeah. One of the big things that I advise people when we're working with leaders in the team environment, etc., is that please don't walk around with your position. You know, like if the person speak man to woman, etc. You make a point, you say something to me, allow me to respond. I don't think that that is right. No, I didn't do this and whatever. And then you know who you're talking to and start to pull position on the person. No, whatever that. Yeah, just of course you want to have clear lines. You don't want people to be rude, etc. But try to be not to be just pulling, relying on your position. About discourse. And of course, please, if you're like S style or I style, be assertive. Make sure that the individual knows who's in control of the conversation. That's important. All right. And so, yeah, while we are allowing for their autonomy and their independence, at the same time, we need to make sure who is in charge. Yes, give them some flexibility. If Trevor says, okay, fine, leave it to me, boss. I will get it done. Fine, give him some room and see what happens. Okay. What about the I style? I style, yeah. Innovative, creative, right? But also might be multitasking, might be distracted, might be attracted to something else that they want to do, but you might not see as a priority. So you want to create an environment of warmth, and you want to affirm the person. You want to make them know that they're part of the team. And yeah, like if a joke is not that, and not taking it seriously, just cool it, cool it, right? Because that works, right? And also, you can use storytelling or anecdotes to make the thing light. Yeah, you're giving me feedback, you're not um, castigating me, right? Okay, and then yeah, let's have some discussion around it, and let's hear if they have different ideas as to how this thing could be done. Listen, just listen. So you might need to allocate a little bit more time for this feedback than you might have thought. Right? And yeah, please at all times be encouraging. Trevor, you know that I'm relying on you have all the talents. We depend. That's so that we depend on you. Encourage me, right? And then also, yeah, don't be too heavy on the criticisms and don't beat me down. Just lift me up. Yeah. Okay. Good. Esther. By the way, surprisingly, the S is also very ready to throw away the bread. Oh, you think I am stupid? Yes. Why didn't you come straight and just tell me this? What is all that praise before and the praise afterwards? I'm not so comfortable with hypocrisy. Might not say it, but that's what's going on in the mind. Why didn't they just come and tell me? I'm messing up. Okay, I'm messing up. Oh, Trevor, we are. Oh, no, you're not. Tell me the truth. So be careful with your sandwich. Okay. So be patient. stand in their shoes. That makes a huge difference because that's the S style. The S style is warm, want to support, want to do a great job, would be humiliated and really depressed, not psychologically depressed, but really concerned, deeply concerned that they are in a situation where they have to get um, corrective feedback, right? Because they want to do well. So the other thing then is to embrace, talk in a warm, supportive manner, right? And give the feedback in a non-threatening way. Let them know how valued they are on the team, etc. Right? And then some context why this feedback is being given and the implications for the bigger picture. Those kinds of things would help it to learn better. Huh? Too much rush. Just take your time, take your time. Right? Don't set it up when you have another appointment and you're rushing through and have to go. just um, be calm and be patient. And also recite. I know I just said that they're going to throw away the bread, but if you can genuinely, if you can show genuinely that they are making a significant contribution, you should share it then. Right? Not just a mouth water, as I would call it, but a genuine statement of their value to the team because they want to belong. They want to belong. Okay. See that. So here you need to actually go to law school. I'm joking. But seriously, don't come with your feedback unless you have evidence. Yeah. It shouldn't just get up on the stop because there can be questions. Give me the details. Why are you saying this? And they might question, you know, the evidence for you to be providing this feedback. Be clear about what it is that you are saying and why it is that you are saying it and what is the supporting data. Be very, very clear about that if you want to succeed with giving feedback to C-style individuals. Right? Okay. So, and then also, and that's what I'm saying about the law thing, be precise in your language, just be careful. Think about it. Don't just come and see me and ready to pump information into me. Think about it carefully. Yeah. Also, encourage, well, you need to be involved in critical thinking, but also ask them to engage in that. They're likely to be very emotional, but lead with that. Try to get them to stop for a moment and to think critically, to see how we can solve the problem, and to see then how do we move towards resolution, to improvement as against being defensive. Yeah. So plenty of questions will come. And also bear in mind that the feedback must be aligned with excellence and their willingness to support quality assurance. Also remember compliance. So if you're suggesting things that are outside of the remit of being compliant, you might have challenges. All right, that's it. What's the bottom line here? Mastering the art of feedback. You have to be thoughtful. You have to be able to stand in people's shoes. There's a commitment then to continuous development, and critically, you need to understand behavioral styles. Cannot approach feedback from a one size fits all approach. It doesn't work. So if you embrace constructive feedback, it can help with learning and development. It can unlock a lot of the challenges that people have in teams in terms of relating to each other. So the team dynamics could be boosted. Then you could find a situation then where by being transparent and by being willing to provide feedback, you are actually enhancing engagement, you're actually enhancing how people enjoy working in the environment, and of course, helping them to become more productive. Yeah. So Actually, giving feedback and instructions is the same kind of challenge, right? You have to know how to give instructions. So giving feedback and giving instruction, these are key features of the work that we do with team leaders and with supervisors, when we're working with developing high performing teams. You want to learn some more? Please send me an email at info@successwithpeople.org. So if you incorporate the keys that we discussed now today, it's going to enhance your personal influence and impact, and it's going to drive productivity and team dynamics. Who are we? We are Success with People Academy, and we are a division of the InfoServe Group. We deploy our discerning model of communication and leadership. That's what we use to enhance personal, team, and organizational growth. Yes, we are also franchise holders for the extended disc that helps us then to offer behavioral DNA assessments on the Revolutionary Things platform. So, master discerning communication, you're going to unlock new levels of success in all facets of your life. We're talking organization here, but you're going to find a difference in your family and in your friends if you are able to speak using discerning communication. Right. We are also a SHRM recertification provider. What that means is that when we do offer certificates, they have the backing of SHRM, which means that you can get professional development credits that could be used for SHRM CP or SHRM SCP recertification. Basically, what it means is that we function at high international standards that SHRM will accept our certification. All right. Just for you, you're just meeting us, or to invite some of you, these live casts are actually um, available on YouTube in our YouTube channel. So if you go to YouTube at Extended Disk Solutions, as you can see in the top right-hand corner there, I would like to invite you to join our LinkedIn club, Leadership DNA Club on LinkedIn, where you get solid information. Right? It's not one of the advertising boards where people just dump stuff. You actually get powerful insights, good, strong newsletters. Speaking of newsletters, you can subscribe to our Success with People newsletter. Again, that's available on LinkedIn. If you go to LinkedIn, you'll find a way to subscribe to our newsletters. However, the big thing would be I'd love to invite you to have a conversation with whatever is on the top of your mind. Today, we're talking about feedback, but you might have other issues. And there's no cost. Just send me an email, info@successwithpeople.org, and I will be happy to have a discourse with you. Or you can just check me on LinkedIn. A lot of content, Last time I was checking, I see over 300 articles or newsletters. I'm not talking posts now, I'm talking about actual articles and newsletters. So check out Trevor E.S. Smith on LinkedIn for more information. Thank you for your time, and we'll see you next time.